Are you prepared for moving your contact center to remote operations overnight? Hi, I'm Attila, and for the last 20 years I've been building and managing contact centers of all sizes. Today I'm here to help you prepare your agents for remote work. A few years ago I was given the task of building the contact center of a direct marketing company from scratch. When I started, it had 9 agents in a small office. After 2 years, we became 280 agents contact center. We had outrun our capacity and we had more agents we could possibly fit. The rapid scaling of the contact center meant that we had to solve our capacity issues overnight by moving our operations remote. Based on this experience, I want to share my knowledge on how to manage a remote contact center team. You know that any contact center relies on clear communication, and this is even more relevant when you are managing a remote team. Remember, this is a new thing for everyone, so you need to rebuild your foundations. Make sure to establish straightforward communication from the start and set clear expectations with your team. Once you've aligned with your team about expectation, it's time to define the communication channels you will use with your remote agents and how you will use them. Ideally, the contact center software that you use should have individual or group chat functions. If not, you can use Skype or Zoom as alternatives. If you are using a system like Zoom or Skype, you should integrate the login process into the routine of your agents. Make sure they are logged in at the beginning of each shift. Set up an individual agent account for them and don't use their private accounts, as it might be distracting and can confuse the working process. Regardless of which channel you use, make sure to check your agent's user right to avoid any security issues. When I train agents, I always emphasize that supervisors can check every call and every second of their entire workflow. This might be obvious to managers, but it's not always clear to agents. Make sure to explain to them that this is needed to provide the best customer experience. Now get your team ready. Make sure that agents are prepared for work at least 5 minutes before their shift starts. Monitor your systems and compare their login data with their schedules in order to oversee this. You might want to hold short meetings before the shifts on your preferred communication channels to make sure that all your agents are ready and aligned with your expectations. It might sound funny, but make sure that your agents are dressed as if they were working on the premises. This will ensure a continued working morale. It worked for me, but it's up to you whether you discuss this on preparing your agent team for remote work. It's important that agents keep the break rules while doing remote work. This is especially important for the optimal functioning of the predictive dialer and for not losing incoming calls. If your software allows, set the maximum time and agent limit of breaks per shift. Let your agents know about this, along with how you expect them to manage their break schedules. You need to emphasize to agents that they can only use communication channels for work purposes and let them know that this will be monitored. It's crucial to emphasize that remote work means increased monitoring and performance checks. Setting down the rules to remote work might seem like a new and scary task. You might find you have to repeat yourself and that you need to give extra emphasis to certain rules and guidelines. With time, this process is going to get easier, not only for you, but also for your agents. Working from home used to be seen as part of the employee's benefits, and agents were usually required to spend at least 2 weeks in the office during their initial training period. Today, the situation is much better. Managers and employees have been able to adapt quickly to new regulations like social distancing, and it has become completely natural to be able to teach and learn online. Once you have put together the remote infrastructure needed for agents, remote training should not be a problem. Step 0 in creating an effective remote contact center is providing a functional technical infrastructure and a technology background. Modern cloud contact center software is web-based and available from anywhere. Why not use this to your advantage? With the help of your technology, you can securely set up a contact center network that your employees can access from home with two-factor authentication to prevent data breaches. Cloud-based contact center software can run on any computer. You just make sure that your agents have quality headsets with noise cancelling and a reliable internet connection. Training session may be needed, especially if you are planning to adapt your workflow to remote operations. As we discussed at the beginning of the video, once you set up the right communication channels, you can use these platforms for training purposes as well. Role-play exercises are an essential part of a contact center training. In fact, learning about possible customer service scenarios is a great way to prepare your agent for any future customer issues. You can simply do this over a video conference platform. Still, it's real call handling that pushes agents to perform 100%. Of course, throwing your agents in live situations too early is not recommended, but as they work through their onboarding period, you can slowly start allowing them to handle real customer calls. Just make sure to be ready to help them out if they need it. There are tools to help you to do this, which we will discuss later. You can also involve your existing employees in the training processes. Team the best performing agents with the newcomers and let them participate in training sessions together. This can easily be done via virtual Zoom meetings or whatever. The best knowledge is learned through experience, so use your experienced employees as an asset. Offering proper trainings and development to your employees is essential in recognition of the value they bring to the company. You can do this by providing online mentorship programs, enlisting them into webinars or in online courses related to your industry. As the agents are not physically around, you have to increase monitoring activity. This is a typical issue in most contact centers. Supervisors and team leaders often do not pay enough attention or dedicate enough time to this important task. Of course, they are aware of how important it is to monitor agents, but with the daily routines, weekly reports, and administrative tasks, it can be hard to get to. Here, we can again benefit from remote work by using all the available features of a cloud-based contact center software. With user state logs, you can keep track of agent states to find out, for example, when agents are on call, log in, log out, or exceed the allowed break limit. Additionally, the real-time monitoring option can give you direct insight into ongoing agent conversations, and call whispering features will allow you to give feedback to an agent without the customer's hearing. Remember to let the agents know you might use this feature. Otherwise, you may well scare them when they start to hear voices. By using a cloud contact center software, you can transfer agents between projects or change the agent status from a distance, which is especially useful with the features such as the user activity log. These tools can further help you in keeping your remote agents' work on track. User activity lets you or the supervisor of your team log daily updates, login requests, and update do not call registries. Using the right monitoring features, you can make sure that you give systematic and regular feedback to agents. Here are the main steps that you should consider. Always be available. Remember, your agent can't physically ask for your help and relies only on your virtual communication channel. When agents ask for help, this often means that they need instant assistance. Make sure to be there for them. Listen in to call as much as you can and keep an eye on user state logs and the statistics of your monitoring tools. As I mentioned in the previous chapter, modern contact center software has these features. If not, create an easy-to-understand document for yourself where you can take notes on the most relevant metrics and observations. Give immediate feedback after listening into a few calls. Otherwise, your observations might easily lose their relevance and cannot be applied in concrete situations. Use specific metrics when giving feedback to your agents. Show your agents their current individual performance of the last few weeks separately from the group average. If you use this, there will be no misunderstanding and selective hearing. The numbers in black and white shows the agent's performance below average, average, or above average. Transitioning to remote work can be intimidating for some agents. Remember, this is a new situation for many, and it might seem like a scary task. Be calm, kind, and patient when communicating to your agents, and repeat yourself whenever is needed. The contact center business, especially telesales and telemarketing, is all about motivation. You need to keep your agents at the highest level of motivation every day, every hour, and every minute of their work time. This requires strategic communication. You can simply motivate your agents by acknowledging their efforts, developments, and achievements. Always try to find and highlight the positive aspect of their work. If your software has a wallboard or dashboard feature, constantly share individual and group performance results on it. You don't need a lot of data, just use 4 to 5 KPIs that are well known by the agents. KPIs concerning outbound calls include metrics such as number of calls, number of sales, value of sales, sales percentage, and sales per hour. Inbound KPIs can include the number of calls, waiting time in the queue, average talk time, average after-call work, and service level percentage. It is also important to communicate clear and attainable goals to your team, especially for telemarketing and telesales operations. You can boost your team's morale by having a good feedback system and by offering financial compensation or rewards when the agents reach targets. Think about it. Transitioning to remote work might initially seem like a scary task to both agents and supervisors. However, this can be easily overcome by using the right tools and having proper planning. Remote work brings lots of benefits to both agents and supervisors. You can avoid long commutes, have a flexible schedule, and cope with recruitment challenges. Start thinking about remote management and invest in the right cloud technologies. This way, you can keep a sustainable workforce and keep your business operation up and running. Thank you for joining this session today, and if you have any question about transitioning your team to remote work, feel free to reach us at academy@vcc.live. Also make sure to check out other content here at VCC Live Academy. See you soon!